What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. to Roleplaying Unlimited, another unboxing video here. We've got a live TTRPG stream later on tonight, but figured I'd kill the time here since I got a little bit of space this afternoon and a handful of Episode 1 Star Wars action figures that have been sitting in their case for, goodness, 27 years now at this point. So we're going to crack those open, take a look at them, and just get a peek at what 1999 was looking like. What's going on there, Sargento, over here in Twitch land? We got some friends watching us on YouTube as well. Hope you're all having a great day so far. And yeah, let's jump into this right now. Got the box of action figures. That's right. All right. See if we can center this a little bit more on the table itself. Still trying to perfect the unboxing angles here. I think that's okay. Yeah, whatever. All right. Well, what is our first figure? We got Captain Tarples. Authentic KB Toys price stamp on there as well. Pretty cool figure. If you had the Comlink with the installed batteries, you could play these little chips on each of them and it would play a line of dialogue from each character from the movie. Well, here goes nothing, friends. Let's tear into it, shall we? Oh my, oh dear, it's sacrilege. You're not supposed to do this. All right. See if we can separate it without completely. There we go. I think that works out. And there is our guy. There's our dude. El Capitan himself. Leader General of the Gungan armies. Complete with Electro Staff. Oh, is that taped in there? I think it is. Yeah, it's taped in. Wow. Gotta undo the tape and everything. If you want to get access to the whole shebang-a-bang. There we go. There's our dude. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Just as I remember, I used to have all of these Episode 1 figures. This was kind of the original trequel. The original trilogy was those were, of course, the defining movies of my childhood, but I was 20 years old when Episode 1 was released, so it was like prime time for a young Star Wars fan to be getting back into the franchise and to have a new trilogy being released. Despite, say what you will about the prequel trilogy and all that, but exciting times to be alive, my friends. Yep, and then the figure should just adhere right to the base, like so. Pretty cool. Closer view up here on this camera. There's our guy, yeah. Top view. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Got the authentic, I don't know how well this comes through on the screen right here. Captain Tarples status, Commander of the Gungan Army. Well, we already gave you the proper introduction, but I guess this helps out as well. So yeah, there we go. There's one down. And we got 5 more. Oh, and we just did the full detach. That's okay. We might save the card stock. I don't think we're going to save the plastic cases. Who knows? I don't really throw anything away, so I may end up storing these somewhere, popping the figures back inside at some point. You never know. Second figure, dun 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 dun. None other Then the Naboo pilot, Rick Oley. Get a cool view at the back of the setup right here. There's the comm link that the figure would sit on. A man and his toys. Too true, too true. Closer look at our friend Rick Oley right there. Another one that's fit to be popped open out of the package. First and only time. Actually inherited these from a friend who, I don't know, for one reason or another, he just no longer wanted to store them, take them with him in his travels. So they ended up with me better part of a decade ago, and I've just been sitting on them in the wrapping ever since. But it occurred to me this is something that might be of interest to people out there to watch. So that's why we're doing it. There we go. First the helmet. Spirit Magic helmet. And the man himself. Receding hairline and all. I speak from experience. That's why it's very enticing to actually have a helmet. Or more accurately, one that fits. Goodness, I don't remember this being such a small helmet for Rick here. Jeez. Like barely wants to. Ah, there we go. All right. Success. There's our guy. Blaster already in hand. The Rick Oley authentic 1999 Star Wars Episode 1 action figure. Appreciate y'all checking us out here on Twitch, on YouTube. Sometimes we'll stream to Facebook as well, but we're pushing our luck here just streaming at 2 places at one time. There's Captain Tarples. There's Rick Oley. Who could be next? Oh, dude, he's naked. He's completely nude. C-3PO himself, complete with exposed circuitry. Really no accessories included with this guy right here. And thank goodness for the stand, because if not for this, the tiny feet on the 3PO action figure, this thing is pretty hard to get to stand up. Yeah, before we take him out, there's the guy himself. Didn't get to meet Anthony Daniels, but I did get to sit about 15 feet away from him a number of years ago. Gosh, almost 20 years ago when they did Star Wars the Musical. And it was not a musical in the sense that like there were actors or anything. It was just an orchestra, and they had a Star Wars museum exhibit. They had the big screen with scenes from the movie flashing in the background while the songs that were playing for those particular scenes were in fact being played by the orchestra. So it was a pretty cool time. I don't think I'm going to mess with the 3PO arms on this one too much. As I recall, I mean, even as a 20-year-old, I was enjoying these action figures and setting up some pretty elaborate battle sequences and what have you in my room at the time. And as I recall, the 3PO arms for the Episode 1 figure, they get loose very quickly, and once they are, you'll never be able to like raise them or pose the figure ever again. It really just kind of gets stuck in the down position. So I think we're just going to leave it in said down position so that if in the future we ever want an option, it does exist. And of course, you can't have C-3PO without R2-D2. Complete with booster rockets. A little sneak peek at what's to come in Episode 2. It was not until Episode 2 that R2 actually unveiled the booster rockets. It's a pretty cool figure. R2 is always a fun figure to collect. How's everybody's Wednesday going? Oh, tore too far on this one. Now we're tearing away at the cardstock instead of tearing the plastic away from the cardstock. There we go. There we go, much better. Ta-da! R2-D2. And of course, with the tripod effect, R2 really doesn't need the base here, but it's pretty cool. R2-D2, astromech droid on Queen Amidala's ship. Forgot to do this for Rick Oley, the pilot to Queen Amidala. And C-3PO status, partly completed protocol droid. Pretty appropriate. So that's R2, less the booster rockets, which is just a simple turn of the old dome. Opens up the side hatches, and then you push the center leg in. Voila! And booster rockets. And then, of course, retract. Gets the booster rockets back inside. And then turn the dome. Closes the interior. And then you can pose R2 back in his usual tripod. We'll just keep all of this stuff together, so even though he doesn't need it, R2 will get his little base. And that leaves two more for today's selection. I've got another handful of them in another box somewhere, but these are the ones that were readily available today. No accessories included, but it's Papa Palpatine himself, Darth Sidious. Yes, indeed, friends. Cloaked in flowing robes and shrouded in evil, Darth Sidious is a Dark Lord of the Sith and the mysterious power behind the Trade Federation's blockade of Naboo. As he conspires and manipulates, he keeps his presence and true intentions hidden. Of course, that's lore going all the way back to Episode 1. Oh boy, we got multiple people approaching our front door today. Now what's going on? Just packages after packages being delivered. Our dog Poplu is not liking it. He is woofing up a storm out there. Well, here we go. Darth Sidious, cloaked in his robes. It's pretty much the only pose he has. I guess you could kind of do like a wah with him if you so choose. Like so. Why that? How's my favorite Sith? Status: Sith Lord. No more need said. And there's our dude right there. Oh! And there goes the base. Yeah, his robes come down pretty much to his feet, so getting him to stay on the base, it's a little tricky. But there's our Palpatine right there, or Darth Sidious. Palpatine actually gets a separate figure entirely, because they didn't want to spoil the surprise back then, even though everybody knew. And last but not least, before it was unveiled in Episode 2 that he had a purple lightsaber, the Episode 1 figure for Mace Windu has a blue lightsaber, just like all the rest of the Jedi, blue or green. Those are the two options. And for Mace Windu, a respected Jedi Master and senior member of the Jedi Council, he wields a great deal of authority throughout the Galactic Republic. He is well aware of the dangers of the Sith. And then it tells you the lines that each character has if you're able to get the chip attached to the Comlink figure right here. And, of course, the other figures, because they want you to collect all of them. Oh yeah, Mace is already kind of partly opened here. Right at the base right there. Oh yeah, he was already coming apart. Looks like my dude used some Scotch tape to keep it from completely coming apart. But yeah, there is some tape in here that's keeping the cardstock and the plastic casing together. But there he is. There's our dude. Robes can come completely off if you so wish to just have the Jedi in the fighting robes. Pretty cool. Not a whole lot of different poses these action figures can do. Things were still kind of basic back in '99, not compared to the capabilities of today's toys and all the 50+ poses that they can facilitate, but nevertheless, pretty cool. Mace on the base. Status, Jedi Master, member of the Jedi Council. There's our dude right there. Closer look for you. Always fun to have a figure with a lightsaber, of course. And then if you want the robes, of course, you have to do away with the lightsaber. He only has the one pose in the robes, and that is the solemn, forlorn Jedi Master pose. And that's all you get. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So there we go. 6 Episode 1 figures unboxed. Sacrilege and all. Do appreciate y'all checking us out here on Role Playing Unlimited. Here on this fine Wednesday, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got plenty more unboxings and unwrappings to do in the weeks ahead. Not sure what kind of schedule we'll be able to get on with this, but I did mention several more board games to unbox. There are also a 90-volume encyclopedia set of Star Wars books that are all still in the wrapping. Some mask toys from the early 80s. Of course, this is the revamped version from 2025. I don't have anything that old still in the box, and if I did, I probably wouldn't be unboxing it for a simple video to get a couple likes and perhaps a new friend or two here and there. But speaking of which, do appreciate each of you checking us out here once again for an impromptu unboxing video. We will be back with you live again later tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, for the continuation of Wednesday's campaign of the Coalescence, continuing and concluding Week 2. Thank you much, friends. We will catch you next time around in about 5 hours from now, 4.5, I suppose. We say it all the time, but we only say it because it's true. There is no RU without you. Have a good one, friends.